So another one I was able to see online and relating to Better Call Saul, of course, Breaking Bad, Windy. Another, yeah, that was great use. I don't know what else to say about it, but
Oh yeah, fantastic. Now, most people for Breaking Bad, sorry, for Breaking Bad, most people, that show did produce a very famous moment, which is the ending.
right. And I
The
remember
last
reading about
episode.
that online even at the time.
Yeah, where they used Badfinger's Baby Blue. And that is great. I cheated at the time. I was still at least 2 or 3 years away from watching the series, but there was so much news about it that I did go online. It was on YouTube, and I looked at that scene.
Mm-hmm.
I had no context for it other than I knew it was about a guy that was a meth dealer,
Yeah.
or worked in a meth lab. And that was such a big deal that Badfinger song, amazingly enough, entered streaming Apple's iTunes charts after that.
Wow.
My favorite thing, though, was Windy, which came along season 2 or 3. And there'd been some music, but there'd actually been a fair amount of music before that, but nothing that really meant anything to me. A lot of it I didn't know. It was hip hop playing in a car or something like that. And then suddenly they open up this episode. They've got this character who, she's already been in it. I can't, do you have it in front of you, Scott, what the character's name is?
Well, I think it was Wendy.
Wendy, right, of course. It was Wendy. And she's this, meth addict. She's a hooker. She hangs out at this hotel room. And you feel sorry for her because the one, I must be getting tired, Scott, because I'm forgetting everything. ATM. The ATM agent that's Walter White's brother, he just treats her terribly. Like, you'd have to watch it. But God, he's so mean to her. So you do feel sorry for her. But they open this episode with sort of a day in the life of Wendy. And the song is playing. And, you got this great bit of sunshine pop. It's such a catchy song for me, not necessarily for everybody. And she's just going through one degrading is not a word, I don't think, one degrading thing after another, between the drugs and the tricks she's turning. And it's great counterpoint. It really is. Well, I mean, you also have the windy synchronicity, but it's mostly used as counterpoint. And it's completely self-contained because it's the prologue to the credits. So it's there. It's like a video for the song.
With both that and the Nancy Sinatra in Better Call Saul, they do.
Yeah.
They're both in.
They're both prologues. Yeah.
Total, right. That's great.
Yeah, which I think is a great way to use a song because it's generally prologues are going to run around 3 minutes, right? So you can have the song from start to finish, and it's very much like making a little video. Okay, what was the third one?
Yeah, so the other
Crystal Blue Persuasion,
which
was great too.
James and the Shondells. So
yeah, Crystal Blue Persuasion was just. If you watch Breaking Bad, it's almost comical because they never get things settled, just one calamity after another. But that was 3 or 4 minutes where everything was functioning well. It was towards the end of the series. It was sort of like this is the last moment before everything really falls apart. Everything's going well. They're producing the meth and they're making money and nobody's after Walter White and his partner Jesse's off somewhere else. He's working with this other guy. And they use Crystal Blue Persuasion, which I mentioned. If I should have been aware, well, yeah, of course they have to use Crystal Blue Persuasion at some point.
Yeah, I wouldn't have made that connection.
It seems so obvious. Once they use the song, it seems so obvious. And they really, and the scene that, the way they use that, everything is so blue in this scene. Like I actually sat and watched it and wrote down everything that was blue. And Tommy James supposedly, and I mentioned this, was addicted to crystal meth. I'm sure it was a much milder form of it in 1970. It wasn't the lethal stuff that came along later, but apparently he had a drug problem. And that's what that song's about.
And isn't there at least one, well, there's probably a few, but I'm sure I've seen a movie or a TV show that used whatchamacallit,
Crimson and Clover?
yeah, Crimson and Clover. That's been
There
used,
is.
right? And even Dragging the Line, I thought had shown up in something that
Well, Dragging the Line, actually, I included that. Well, this might not be what you're thinking about because it's pretty obscure, but it's used in a Canadian film called New Waterford Girl.
No, don't know it.
Okay. I'm sure it was used somewhere else. You're right about Crimson and Clover. I wish I could think about that. I'm going to go online.
You find out online, yeah.
And I remember being disappointed in how it was used, in that it started off great and they just kind of let it go. You know, they didn't use it for very long, or it started because it's got that great dramatic beginning, right?
Yeah.
They started it loud and everything was great. I'm pretty sure of this. I'm going to find out where it was. Somebody started it fantastic, and then in 10 seconds it was off. And I was like, why would you ever use this song, this incredible song, and not use it?
Yeah.
Like, what's the point?